Testing. Hello everyone. I think my stream is working. I'm still setting up the stream overlay, which is something I haven't done before, so it might take some time. Okay, here's the plan. I'm gonna put this on top, and when I solve a problem, I'm gonna change the letter from red to green using magic, I guess. Okay. And then I'll start. Say something in the chat if you're here. Hello, Bapooks. Hey, time reveal. Tourist. Good to see you. Okay, so let's get started. I was gonna do a Div 2 round, so this is the most recent Div 2 that I haven't done. I don't want to do the educational one, because the stream is more to have fun than to learn. And in case you couldn't guess from the stream title, I'll be using ChatGPT to solve all the problems. So basically, I'm not gonna write any code by myself. I'm gonna see if I can just do everything using ChatGPT. So, okay. I don't know how this is gonna go. This is my first time doing this kind of thing live. I have tried using ChatGPT before to do Codeforces, but usually not very successfully. Okay, so there's 6 problems. Let me update the overlay. And here's the first problem. I'm not even gonna read it. I'm just gonna open up ChatGPT and say, solve this problem, please. Okay, and let's see how it does. While he cooks, I'm gonna read the problem. Each pair of teams match up once. Number of goals, blah blah blah. Total number of goals minus. Okay, he forgot the efficiency of one of them. Okay. Yeah, I think this problem is not going to be too hard. Yeah, I think I got it right. So let me just submit this code. Basically, the efficiency of a team is its wins minus losses. You're missing one of them, but you know that the sum of the efficiencies of all n teams should be 0, because that's just, I guess, kind of an invariant or like an identity given the problem setup. So I'll just submit this. This is Python 3, I think. See how it does. Accept it. Okay, that's pretty easy. I didn't have to do any work. That's great. If you haven't seen ChatGPT in action before, well, this is the power of AI, I guess. So A is solved. Let's move on. Don't tell anyone that ChatGPT can solve Div 2A. Well, sorry, I just did. but maybe we can keep it a secret on this stream. All right, this news doesn't leave the stream. Let's move on to B. So before we read the problem, we'll let GPT solve the problem. So let me make a new chat. If you guys are interested in seeing the transcript, I can paste the link in Twitch chat. It's a nice feature. But yeah, let's give it problem B's statement now. Please solve this problem. And you know, it might be able to solve problem B without help as well, in which case that's great and we'll move on to C. But otherwise, I think we're gonna have to help him out a bit. So let's see where he's at. He's writing just a function. It's not really what I was asking for. I wanted the entire program. So yeah, that's not looking too good. But anyway, let's read the problem. This guy called Pack, and there's and residence. So there's magic helmets, and okay, so each resident has like ability to share, but also capacity. Okay, so this seems like basically some kind of like priority queue kind of stuff, you know? Just like first share it with the dude with the best cost, and then keep doing that. And every time you share with a dude, you're either using one of the chief's shares or one of the the shares that you've accumulated. Okay, and looking at the bounds, since it goes up to 10 to the 5, I'm pretty sure we'll need C++. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so it wrote a function, but it didn't read the input. And let's see what it's doing right now. It's sorting it. Sort it based on cost effectiveness. Okay, that looks wrong. Okay, yeah, so this is completely garbage. Okay, let's just edit the original prompt so that it regenerates from scratch. And then solution spec. Okay. Use the following approach. Maintain. Q. What exactly are we doing here? Yeah, what are we doing? Okay, so the cost of the first share is just P. The other n-1 shares will depend on cost of each of the other one. n-1 shares will be the minimum of P, and the efficiency of the, I guess, next person in the has shares remaining queue. I don't know. That's not a good way to approach this. Okay, let's just do it this way. Okay. Maintain a set of like share coupons or whatever shares. each element of this set is the ability to share info with some guy with cost X. Using it consumes that element. I guess this ability is like one-time use. So move the element from the set and use it. Initialize this shares to just like n copies of P. Share to the people with lowest cost first. Insert, what is it called again? AI copies of BI. Alright guys, my screen just froze. This sometimes happens. Yeah, it's not good. Okay, there we go. It's unfrozen. I don't know why ChatGPT is so bad at this. It might be better if I type this out somewhere else. Like maybe I'll type it out over here. So maintain multi-set int called shares. Each element x shares responsibility to share at cost X. Initialize to and copies of P. When sharing info to a new guy I, insert BI copies, or is it AI copies of BI to shares. Share to people with lowest cost BI first. And then don't stop inserting if you're not in the top end. So like, I don't know, because sometimes it's bad to do that, I guess. Wait, isn't this still kind of slow? It's not that slow, right? If you're greater than the max of the set, and then remove the largest values of the set until it is size n again. Good. Okay, I don't think this is gonna work, but this is basically how I would describe it. Also use C++. But let's just try this. Let's start over because I think my tab is broken. Okay. So here's the problem statement. Oh, hello K-Sun. You solved this problem in contest? No way. That's extremely impressive. You think my approach is bad? Okay, I mean, I think calling it a multi-set instead of like a, I don't know, array is probably gonna confuse it a bit. And then like pruning down to like size n and stuff is a bit confusing. But I don't really know what else I could do. Solve, write a program that solves this problem. Okay, let's just see what it does. So yeah, again, the solution spec is we're going to maintain like a list or like a multi-set of like costs basically, and we're always going to take the smallest number from this. I forgot to say that. But yeah, since you can't do it over and over, that's why it's a multi-set, and we remove from it once we use it. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this is right at all. Okay, so we need to use the smallest value in shares, not the largest. Duh. Alright, we got some bets in the chat of how many tries it'll take. Let me see if I can make a poll. Anyone know if that's something I can do? Poll. How many tries before AC on B? Let's say like 1, 2, 3, 10 plus. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to do this. Always ensure to test the code thoroughly to validate its correctness. Thank you for your advice, Trist. Okay, it's getting better at adding the cost. It's still adding itself here. And then I guess A might be really big, right? A is not insanely big. It's kind of big. Okay, let me update this spec again. Cost of sharing to next is always min value of shares. Use that value. Stop inserting. Don't insert. Maybe the n copies of P thing is wrong. Empty. Value to share or P. Empty. Maybe that's better. Let me turn the music a bit down. Is that better? Yeah, I don't have external speakers. I'll just do no music for now. I think it's not that important anyway. Can you guys hear me better now? Back it up. Insert AI copies of BI into shares. But since AI may be very large, cap at n. Also ignore skip insertion if BI greater than P. And then cap at n. Stop when set has size n. And I don't need to say that anymore. Okay, let's try this. Let's try. Okay, you want music. Yeah, I think the problem with my computer is like my speakers and my microphone are pretty close together. So I'll turn it at very low volume. Maybe that'll be good enough. Okay, wait, why is it doing n squared? What? Why would it do it this way? Sort people first. N squared too slow. What else is it doing? Okay, this looks better. This looks better. It's even doing the optimization here, where they're accounting for the number of people you've already talked to. Okay, let's see if it said anything interesting here. It's not that interesting. Okay, this looks better. Oof, this is completely wrong. Mr. Shadow7962. Welcome to the stream. What we're doing is we're solving Codeforces problems. Currently solving this problem. And we're trying to do it without coding. We're only gonna work on this problem by dictating the solution to ChatGPT. Okay, so let me start over again, or edit this prompt. This is actually doing much worse than I thought it would. Cost of sharing. Accumulate cost and variable total cost. Should be long. This is the final answer for test case. I don't know why it's so confused. Sort the array ahead of time. Or speed. Okay. Like, I feel like I can't be more clear, right, about what the cost of sharing is. But that's the part it keeps getting wrong. Is this ChatGPT 3 point whatever, 5 or 4? It should be 4, but it could be wrong. I'll check. This is what it looks like when I open a new thing. So yeah, it should be 4. Okay, this is looking much better, I think. Yeah, this is good. This is very good. Should we try it? Should we just submit, or should we test it? Alright, chat. Should we just submit this, or should we test it? A wise man once said to always test your code. And test it thoroughly to validate its correctness. Submit, more fun. Okay, how about I'll read this once so we can make sure we know what it's doing. So it's reading AI, BI, it's making the pair, sorting it, creating the multi-set, iterating through the sorted list. I don't know what this break thing is, but whatever. And if our set is empty, then share directly. I don't know why it has this condition. I think that shouldn't ever happen. And then otherwise, we take the first guy and then erase something, notify ++. Again, I don't know why it's doing that. And then if BI is better than P, if we would ever consider using this helmet, then insert it AI times, but not like too many times. Yeah, great. Total cost is an int. I literally said to accumulate in the long. This guy doesn't take instructions very well. So yeah, the costs could definitely exceed an int. Everything looks perfect. Just change tote cost to long. Yeah, I should have just submitted. Oh my god. Why is it modifying? No, stop. No, regenerate the whole thing. So I can copy it easily, please. Alright, that's better. Testing system is for testing. Yeah, Jiang. At this point, I'm just writing pseudocode for this dum-dum. I agree. Here, I think this will be fun. I think even when I submit this, there's a pretty good chance it's gonna fail. So that's enough excitement. Alright, I didn't read it closely, but I'm pretty sure it did the long thing correctly. So submit code. C++ 17b. Let's copy the link for this. Put it in here. Running on test 1. Tester. Oh, we got accepted, guys. All right. That's one small step for AI, but one giant leap for AI kind. Yeah, what happened to Codeforces streams? It's not that many going on. Yeah, my theory is I think they just got tired of doing it because it's tiring. Yeah, I did just write the algorithm. Hopefully for the next problem, I don't have to guide it as much. Like, I really spelled it out in gory detail for him. I think this problem was kind of hard for him though. This one might be easier. C joyboard. Oh, share link. Maybe I should include that somewhere in the chat in case anyone wants to look at it. Oh, also I need to update my stream overlay. Okay, A, B, let's go. Okay, problem C. Write a program that solves this problem. Oh, where is it? It's here. Okay. And wait, Tourist, you said my code has defined int long? What? Are you sure? Oh, you're right. That's kind of I should have just submitted this then. You're right. Define int long is yeah, not something I would have done, but I guess it does the job. Very very clever of him. Does it mention this part? It doesn't even talk about this in the explanation. Alright, next time we're just gonna YOLO it. And just submit it next time. But yeah, it must have been must have learned that from someone. Has it been training on, I guess, Codeforces submissions? Okay, well, while my browser hangs, I'm gonna read the problem. Joyboard, play game. Alright, so we're trying to assign integers between 0 and m to this value, and then taking that number mod 1 through n to compute the rest of the array. And then we want to make sure at the end there's exactly k distinct values in the entire screen. And then we're asking how many ways are there to do it. Yeah, that sounds kind of non-trivial. Yeah, so here I already asked him. He responded with, here's a Python function. He's using a greedy algorithm, which is just iterating through everything and checking if it works. Hey, I think that's called a brute force algorithm. But, you know, I guess you tried. Okay, let's submit it just for the memes. Submit it for the memes. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get something like TLU, wrong answer, or both. Wrong answer. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. But hey, now that's hard, solid proof that GPT needs our help. So let's help him solve this. Okay, what should I say? No. What is he doing right now? If k equals 1, results.append m+1. What? If k is 2, append m. And if k, yeah, look, that's checked for you. You don't have to worry about that one. If it's equal, for all other cases, it's impossible to have k distinct numbers. My God. This is like worse than I imagined. Like, he's okay at coding, but he's really bad at math. Like, he just made like a series of claims, and each claim was false. Like, the code for each of these cases is just wrong. I mean, this one's kind of okay. This is ChatGPT 4.0. I'm paying for it. I'm not sure how to solve this problem at all. Is it always possible? Oh, it's asking for the number of valid ways. I mean, I think the way I'd want to do this is work through some examples. Let's work through some small examples first. Can you generate a table for, let's say, like n equals 10, m equals 10, that shows for each assignment to value of a n plus 1, what the rest of the array would look like, as well as the total number of distinct numbers. In the array. That's okay, so we're doing some examples. This is horrendous. We'll use the formula AI equals AI plus 1 mod I. That's not the formula. Oh, it is the formula. Shoot, I totally thought it was AI equals AN plus 1 mod I. Okay, that changes things. How much does that change things? That definitely changes things. Okay, let's look at this example. This is wrong. The resulting array is wrong. How can you have things like 1, 3, 1, 3? Shouldn't it be monotonically decreasing? How do you have stuff like 1, 3, 1, 3 when it's supposed to be when AI? Alright. So far, my opinion is this guy's not very smart. So we're gonna have to do a lot of work in teaching him. But I will concede that it noticed something I didn't, which is that AI is actually AI plus 1 mod I, not AN plus 1 mod I. But yeah, since it's strictly decreasing, I think it's not that hard to solve this problem. Because basically that means we can just check all the values of AN, right? Because we just forget about AN plus 1 for now. We just do AN. And then for each of those, we can kind of just see what happens. In fact, we know what's going to happen. It's just going to stay at that value, and then it's going to go to 0. Okay, so basically, the array will look like this: 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, x, 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 and then the last number will be x plus nk, something like that. So 3 distinct values, usually. And then sometimes you'll have two values if n, or if k is 0, or x is 0, one value if both. Okay. So working through the math, then, therefore, the solution should if k equals 1, output 1. There is only one way. If k equals 2, is that consistent so far? Yeah. K equals 1, output 1. 2, output something. Otherwise, output something. Or k equals 3. Otherwise, output 0. Okay, so we're getting closer. We figured out the hard part. Now we just have to figure out the details. So how many ways are there to pick a sub n plus 1 such that k is 0 or x is 0? That's the thing we output here. So k is 0 means x is between 1 and n minus 1. So n minus 1 plus x being 0 and k not being 0. Or k being possibly 0. And then this would just be m over n, I think. Does that work for the example? And for this, it's just like m minus that. 1 minus. Can you check if this formula works for the samples? What? I got it wrong? Impossible. Actually impossible. It's because it should be just m, right? The possible range of values is between 0 and m inclusive. So I don't need to do m minus 1 here. Change case 3 to just k minus, or m minus 1 minus 4. So it works for these samples, just not the one. Generate Python code. Alright guys, I hope you're ready. I'm not even going to read the code, I'm just going to click copy and submit it. Let's go. Submit. Alright. Alright, people in the chat. Is this gonna work? Is it gonna work on the first try? This is definitely the first try, right? Yeah, ignore this. It's first try. Wrong answer on test 2. Okay. That didn't count. Yeah, that doesn't count. I think there's probably an edge case, like where n equals 1 or something. I don't know. Is there a n equals 1 test case? Or maybe m equals 0 is a special case? Or m less than n is a special case? Special case. What if m less than n? Can you generate and run a case like this? Okay, basically if m is less than n, then case 2 is just wrong, right? Because we're just doing n minus 1 here. It's unfortunate. Okay, stop. It's ugly. Okay, update code to handle m minus 1 separately. K equals 1, still 1. K equals 2, now it's just m. K equals 3, 0. And if n equals 1, is my code correct? If n equals 1, everything should just be either 1 or 2. Yeah, I think it works. K equals 3. Well, I'm just doing complementary counting, right? Where I'm saying if it's not 1 or 2, it's 3. And they should add up to n plus 1 because that's the number of choices we have. Okay, let's try again. Let's submit this. But yes, Xiaolu C1, if you have a test case that you think I should try running, I can try running it on like custom invocation. Okay, why can't I submit the okay. I think this is passing. Oh, AC, let's go. Alright, time to update my stream overlay again. This is actually honestly my favorite part, where I turn the red into the green. It's very satisfying. Alright, we passed C, guys. The thing we had to do was handle m less than n properly. I was assuming n was big, or m was big, but it might not be big all the time. Okay, here's the link if anyone wants to see it. Alright, let's move on. I think problem C is just like kind of a math problem. It's not a very like interesting piece of code. It's just doing what I told it to do. I want to find a problem where it's actually like contributing, non-trivially. You know what I mean? So, oh wait, there's 7 problems? That's so many. Okay, D. Effects of antipupils. Solve this problem. Chanukah has an array, and all elements are white. We'll choose one or more indices, and then make them black. Then, choose all white elements whose indices are multiples of the index of at least one black element, and color those elements green. What? Okay, and then the maximum value of out of all the black and green. And there's 2 to the n minus 1 ways. Yep, agree. Find the sum of scores for all possible ways. Try to choose the black indices. Okay, I see. It's not that hard. Is it? It's really not that hard. So basically, here's how it works. You have like n choices to make. Each element, you either color it black or you don't. Hi Sandra, welcome to the stream. But yeah, for each element, you either pick it or you don't. And in the end, the answer is just like the biggest number such that like either it was picked or one of its factors was picked. So what you can do now is sort the array in descending order, and like kind of in the beginning you have like let's say n things, but like k of them point to the biggest dude somehow. Then what that means is the number of ways to make the sum be the, or make the max guy be that very max guy is 2 to the n minus 2 to the n minus k or something. And then you just like delete those k because you can't use them anymore. I don't think I explained that very well, but I'm going to have to explain it well if I want ChatGPT to write code that solves the problem. So if that was confusing, well, stay tuned. I'm about to make it less confusing because I have no other choice. My browser just keeps crashing. Okay, let's see what it's doing. Yeah, this might actually be right. Just kidding. There's no way this is right. Like, there's absolutely no way this is right. It's using DP. Okay. Nice try, but that is not it. Let's try again using the following approach. 1. So it's 1 index, right? Okay. 1. How do we do this again? Okay. 1. Compute for each index 1 through n max of its multiples. Element I affects all elements j, where I divides j. 2. This should be pretty fast. Like, oh, I'm looking at time. Then count for each element, number of elements that point to it. Store this in like an array called par. Par I is the max element that I affects. Should we do index? Yeah, we probably don't want it. Let's say value. So I guess we just sort par now. Ascending. Is that what we're doing? Posture check. Uh-oh. I don't really know what a posture check, so I'm just like moving the camera around and pretending to do things. But here we go. My posture has now changed. But anyway, yeah, what were we doing? We're sorting the array par. But what we really want to do is like groups. We can probably do it like this too. 3. 2 to the n or something. Compute the final answer. Par I times 2 to the I. Sum up for I equals 0 and minus 1. This is kind of like a cute formula that accomplishes the same thing, I think. Is that true? Let's submit. Yeah, we're just gonna submit and go. Copy and submit. Problem D. Oh wait. I need to use C++, don't I? It can't handle this. No way it can handle this. No way, yeah. I'm doing like n log n stuff. So stop and translate to C++, bro. Oh, I forgot to say hi to you. Volsky Malish. Hello. Ayush Anand here. Hello. Sandro 1005. Hello. Okay, I asked it to translate to C++. Here's the equivalent C++ code. Let's submit it. Boom. There's no way this doesn't work. Accepted. Okay, I was actually kind of surprised that it worked. But that's really good. I feel like I actually saved some time there. This wouldn't have taken much longer to like do myself, but you know, I'm glad I didn't have to type this myself. Like, all I had to say was translate to C++, bro, and 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, like, typing it like this helps me, like, you know, distill the algorithm in my head before I start coding. So honestly, it's forcing me to use better habits in a way. So yeah, I would say this is a smashing success of demonstrating the power of ChatGPT. See, all I have to say is compute blah, 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 the max element, log n, something, something, sort it, and then compute the answer, and give it the formula. And honestly, I'm pretty proud of this formula. I was originally going to do it in a more ugly way, but then I remembered that like you don't actually have to group things together, even if they're equal. You can just pretend they're not equal, and then it actually makes the formula a bit cleaner. The intuitive understanding of this is like, let's just imagine for a second that you're going one by one and you're saying, okay, like this number, if I include it, then it doesn't matter what other things I include before it. If I include this dude and there's I things before it, there's 2 to the I ways to make this guy like determine the max. So that's why it's 2 to the I times par I, where par is like the value of the answer if I include element I. And then if I'm sorting par ascending, then that is just true, right? Like, that's just how it works. Be mindful of integer overflow. It's nice to have a guy just, you know, remind you every now and then to be mindful of integer overflow. I feel like I could really use a helper whose job is to remind me of that. Because like all my wrong answers in contest are usually just integer overflow. Okay, we're gonna go to problem E. Autosynthesis. Okay, chat.openai.com. Okay, let's see if it solved it. Hey, this is just explaining his thoughts. Okay, he wants to use a greedy algorithm by circling elements until the sequences are equal. Frequency array, blah blah blah. Alright, I have no idea whether this is right or wrong because I haven't read the problem yet, but I have a good feeling. I'm going to submit it. I have a very good feeling about this. Just kidding, it's definitely not right. Like, there's like 0 chance that this works. I think less than 0 chance. Wrong answer, test 1. Okay, great. At least we tried. Int 32 expected. So we didn't even produce any output. That's how far off we were. Let's read the problem now. Oh, okay. So if there are multiple solutions, you can print any of them. This is a constructive problem. A constructive problem where we have to do a thingy so that the 2 sequences are equal. So for example, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. It's not possible, right? It is? A1, A4, A5. 3, 2, 3. Wait, what about this number 4, dude? Oh, it's the index, I see. So, in one world, the values are the indices of the circled elements. In the other world, it's just things that you didn't touch at all. Yeah, cool. So let's just go from the left. The first number, 3 here, it's like, are you ever going to circle this number 3? If no, if no, that means the first number we circle has to be position 3. But if yes, well, we gotta circle this at some point. When you circle it, that'll append the number 1 to the sequence P, but there's no 1 in this array. So that's how we know that 3 is not going to be circled, and it also tells us that the first number we do circle is 2. Yeah, that's all I got. That seems like the only observation I should need, but maybe I can think a bit harder. Like, what about the last number? I don't know. I gotta circle at least like n over 2 times, right? Possibly much more, or less or more. Possibly a bit more, yeah. Okay, I think I'm starting to get some more intuition for this problem. Like, this feels kind of like a 2-sat problem now. Is this just a 2-sat problem? I'm saying basically, if this is not circled, then this must be circled. And then I'm also saying that if this is circled, then something must occur. That's the not 2-sat part of this. That's like just sat. Okay, so let's consider this as a graph where like this number 3 points to this number 2. What does this graph look like? It is 2-coloring? Is that what we're doing? Independent set? What are we doing? Cover? Vertex cover? ChatGPT? I don't know what ChatGPT is. But okay. Here's what I got so far. We're just gonna label each element as either circled or not circled. We're not gonna worry about the order of operations, because that part's actually pretty easy. Once we decide which elements are gonna be not circled, we've just decided what R is gonna be, right? R is just that stuff in order. And then we just build P according to R. It's like, if you know R, you know P, and if you know P, you know what operations you have to do. And what you have to guarantee is that like the values of R that are not circled, if you think of those values are as indices, those are the indices of the circled ones. And they not only have to be like, all of them have to fall within the circled elements, they actually have to cover the circled elements. Like, you can't have a random circled element that is circled for no reason, because then it's not, it's not actually gonna end up getting circled by the operations you do in P. So that's the crux of this. How do you translate this to, a program, like an answer? I think you apply some standard graph algorithm. Which one? My brain is too small to remember. But it's some kind of like vertex cover thingy thing. I might have to sketch something out on paper. All right. Got my paper. plan is to draw some diagrams. Alright, so it's not quite an independent set. But it's close. The reason it's not just like some maximal independent set and say these are the like uncolored stuff or uncircled stuff is because you might have a guy that is not in that set but also doesn't have any in edges. And then you can't just like say, well, why isn't he an independent set then? Because he might point to someone in the set you chose. So let's think about this as like a functional graph. You have some cycles, some stuff that points to the cycle, and then you have a forest of these things, or like a bunch of disjoint collections of this. Disjoint is pretty easy to handle. You solve it independently. For cycles, well, a cycle sounds kind of bad, because if it's an odd cycle, I think you're just screwed, right? Like, what are you gonna do if you have like a self edge, right? Like 1, 2, this example is a great example. 3, 1, 2, 3, this is just a bunch of self edges. So like if you circle it, well, then the uncircled stuff is nothing. But if you don't circle it, then the circled stuff is nothing. So you're just screwed, because you're not gonna make it equal, right? So basically I think you need an even cycle, collection of even cycles, or trees. I think trees are fine. And then you just kind of like do a 2 coloring, so that you're just making it bipartite at that point. And if it's bipartite, you're definitely okay. And you can just do kind of arbitrarily. All right. this array. So like, if you circle it at any point, then P will contain the number 1, but R cannot possibly contain the number 1 because it's a subsequence of A. So yeah, that's what I mean by things that don't have in edges. And for those, we just kind of determine immediately that they must not be circled, and therefore whatever they point to, so in this case 3 points to index 3, which is this number 2, and that must be circled, and that basically is a pair. And then we just like eliminate everything that was determined and then repeat. And then in the end, we have a partition into which things are guaranteed to be circled, which things are not. At which point, we kind of just go through the list of R and just do it. And then the output needs to just be number of operations followed by Z integers, the ith integer. So that we're just printing out R, right? Isn't that just R? Yeah, we just print out R at the end. Okay. That was a bit harder than I thought it would be. Okay, sorry, man. You're gonna have to try again. This problem is not at all how you thought it was. First, let us compute number of in edges each guy has. So there's a graph such that node I points to node AI. Right, that's the thing we're doing. So that is just frequency, I guess. Maintain this and how are we maintaining this stuff? Let's just use a set again. Sorry. Write a function update in edge node idx that A Jesus, this is not the most easy way to do it. Let me just let him figure it out. Now create. I'm just gonna not go into details. That allows you to update or find the guy with the fewest number. Sorry, what am I saying? What am I saying? Start over. As long as there are unvisited nodes, pick some node that has no in edges. Mark it and its neighbor, AI, as visible. Delete them. When deleting a node or marking a node as visited, decrease, decrement I guess images. Update the count of images worth there. Where it's neighbor. E.g. minus in edges. AI. If this update yields a new node with 0 images, make sure you're in queue. We're gonna run some kind of topo sort / BFS thing with the queue. Add I to our answer. Or like mark I. That's true. Finally output, like finally compute the answer, which is just all I such that AI is true order. Okay. Okay. If this process ever gets stuck, then break. Oh wait, but then what if there's like even cycles? We don't want to just get stuck on even cycles, right? And break the cycle arbitrarily. I pick random I that no remaining nodes have 0 images. Okay, and then we have to check our work, right? Finally validate the answer. Every node where answer I is true must point to something that is not answer A must be false. Yeah, is that it? I think that's it. I don't have to really worry about things. Yeah, the other thing. If validation fails. This one. Else. Okay. I don't think I said this very clearly. I would not be able to understand this myself if I were reading it, but this guy's pretty smart, so maybe he'll be able to figure it out. Also, how do I only have 8% battery left? We might have to wrap up the stream if I solve this problem. Okay, 2 seconds, 10 to the 5, probably too slow for Python, but let's read the code. Okay, in degree is counted correctly. A double-ended queue, while queue, pop left, if visited. No, this is wrong. Anti is true. Close, but you should still visit I even if visited. AI is true. and enqueuing. And check for unvisited nodes. This might be really slow. Okay, I gave it some feedback. I don't think it's gonna be enough. Oh, we got first time chat. Mega Cheetor redeemed timeout. I don't really know what that means, but I'm gonna time him out. Alright, Mega Cheetor, you've been timed out, I guess, by request. Sorry if that's not what you wanted. Anyway, back to the code. Time reveal, redeem 10 push-ups. Oh my god, I forgot I set this stuff up. I guess that's the price of being a streamer. Sure. Okay. Back to coding. Okay. It didn't run solve. Okay. And also print output. Start returning. Okay. I think it's actually doing pretty well. What problem is this? This is problem E from round 902. I'm doing a virtual participation. And yeah, I haven't written a single line of code today, but I already solved 4 problems. This is the future. And yeah, I agree, I'm hitting the token limit soon, right? This is a pretty long problem. Okay, anyway, this Python is not going to be fast enough, but I'm hoping that it's at least going to be correct. Let's just submit it and see what happens. If it passes samples, then I'll translate to C++. This is problem E, right? Wrong answer, test 1. It's not good. 1, 2, 5. Yeah, that's not right. I think it's supposed to print out the values. Oops, print out AI instead of I things. Did I tell him to do that, or did he do that himself? What did I say here? Finally, every node. Yeah, I guess I said it's all I, but it's really AI, and this should be anti. Oops, my bad. Okay, and then perfect. Now translate everything to C++. Oh, thanks for the sub, Eknalawa. I didn't notice that. I appreciate it. What do you think of my C++ coding style? Do you like my use of anonymous functions, or whatever this is called, lambdas? I think it's pretty good. It looks like Python. Founders badge, let's go. Thanks for the prime, KSun48. We're gonna submit submit code. C++ 14. I think this is gonna pass. Hey, let's go. Accepted. I'm surprised. Not that surprised. Not that surprised. Is that not efficient during live contest? Yeah, I mean, I think, like, I don't know. I think this isn't really faster yet, mostly because like I have to read the code and debug it. But if it got it right on the first try, I think it would be faster. Oh wow, time reveal. Thanks for the tier 1. Appreciate that. But yeah, let's review. So it took me a while to just like come up with my own solution. But I think as soon as I got this, it would have taken me like probably 5 minutes to type it up, maybe a bit less. I don't know. It's not that complicated. The breaking cycles arbitrarily thing is probably like only one of the many approaches here. Like you could also do like odd cycle detection or just cycle finding, because at this point everything is just a cycle. Like you just compute the cycle directly and then take every other thing. But yeah, I think it did a pretty good job of like auto-correcting in a way. Like I said things that are just not correct. Like this is like basically a typo, but it kind of like rolled with it. He's like, I know what you meant here, bro. And he did. The only problem was like what I meant was still wrong, so I still have to correct it. But it was able to adjust for my typos. That I think was really cool. Anyway, E is now green. Let's go. Let me make this a bit smaller. Never mind, it's good enough. Yeah, I think it's really good at doing like the low intelligence stuff, things that are just like kind of chores, and just figures it out. It's very good at that. Like, let's see, it translated from Python to C++ pretty much flawlessly. Like, he definitely did it faster than like any human could. Like this took like 10 seconds. It's crazy, and it was perfect too. So I think for things like that, it's definitely really, really powerful. Okay, so no one solved F and G, so I think that's a great place to end the stream. Yeah, let's see. Hype train. So yeah, maybe we can just chat for a bit and then end the stream. You guys have any thoughts? Andrew's still trying to get him to solve Hacker Cup problem E, and he just runs out of attention span. Yeah, I think problems like that where like only LGMs can solve it, I feel like it might be a bit too hard for him. even with coaching and coaxing. But like problems like, you know, A, B, C, D, E, like it's enough for me to get, what place am I? Top 30. This is quite good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This is like really quite impressive. Even with, you know, I wasn't going as fast as possible. I took a while trying to solve E. Probably would have done better without, I guess, pressure of streaming, but it's still like non-trivial problem, and I was able to implement it correctly, so it's really good. And I don't know how many of these people like did it for real. Let's see where, like, how many people have 5 problems solved right now in real contest. There's, yeah, it's around 25. Okay. Oh, it's very impressive. Problem E is not that easy. All right. Well, that's it for the stream. I guess I'll see you guys next time I do something like this. I am pretty interested in continuing to do these types of like problem solving sessions with ChatGPT. I think it's like actually pretty good practice for myself, forcing myself to verbalize the algorithm in a like much more like pseudocode / like English way instead of just writing code. I really wish it like just got it right the first try though. Like, I thought if this was enough, I'd be really happy, but it wasn't enough. I still have to say like 4 more things. Yeah. But, you know, still much better than any AI was capable of, like even just 1 year ago. So, very cool stuff. All right, peace.